Boy, oh boy, that was tough to watch. Colorado gets absolutely dragged by Houston on Friday night. I felt good about this game. I actually took Colorado money line. I took the over too, so we made that okay. But man, oh man, I thought Colorado was gonna find something there. But come out the second half, they were as flat as you could be. Let's talk about it. Roll it.
I flush my kids down in the club.
Houston puts on an absolute clinic, putting over 431 yards total yards, 222 passing, 209 rushing. Connor Wingman had himself a day, former Texas A&M quarterback and former five-star quarterback as well. It's not like he's just some slub by any stretch. This Houston team is much improved over the since last year. Okay, defensively they add defensive coordinator from Florida Gators, Austin Armstrong. He was the defensive coordinator at Southern Miss, who was nicknamed the Nasty Bunch. When he's able to work with a certain group of guys, he can really have those defensive backs flying around, and flying around they were. He loves to throw blitz concepts at you and muddy the pocket, which is what he did with Ryan Staub. You know, last night I was really excited to see what Ryan was going to be able to do. It was all in on Ryan. And I talked in the show previous. I go, look, I wouldn't be surprised if he threw Salter in a few times just to see how mobile he is. And people are like, hey, Staub's fast. There's fast and there's quick. Salter is quick. And I think last night, and I like that Coach Prime stuck with Ryan. I think at times he finally found a little bit of a rhythm, but I've seen it firsthand with these types of defense because they drop everybody and bring everybody. That opens the pocket. And you saw a couple of times when Ryan Staub was able to get through the hole and squeak through. He had days to run. I think Salter and they would have had more success in being able to wear out that defense a little bit more if they would have brought Salter in. Because in my opinion, I didn't think Staub was giving you anything more than what Salter was giving you just a few weeks prior against that game in Georgia Tech. Staub looked absolutely lost out there. I don't know if it's play calling or what's happening, but was just trying to be the check down, dump down king. And look, it wasn't all on him. Wide receivers were dropping balls left and right. This wide receiver core is nowhere near where I thought it should be. I thought a lot of not good balls, but balls that should have been caught were dropped, which would have kept some drives going, could have maybe found some momentum. Those things were not there. Pass blocking was exceptional. They only brought five most of the time because they dropped everybody. But again, this is something they did last year a lot to Colorado, but the wide receiving core is much improved. Obviously, with Shador, his mobility to get outside of the pocket, extend plays was much more versatile than Ryan Staub. And Ryan just didn't have that in his arsenal at all. And again, there's nowhere really to point. We've kind of last couple of games we pointed to this, we pointed to that, we pointed to maybe it was the defense, maybe it was the offense. In my opinion, this game, it's hard to really point this thing at anybody. Sure, when you go 31 yards, you would say, hey, that's going to be obviously on the defense. And I understand you look, okay, total yards, 300 for Colorado. They only rushed the ball for 96 yards. That isn't the identity they want to try to accomplish. Threw the ball for 204 yards. But again, those 204 yards passing were, you almost kind of want to think trash time. At the end there, they started just dropping back almost every single time. 35 attempts for Ryan Staub there, 2 interceptions, just bad throws there. But look, if you look at the wide receivers, Mario Miller, 3 catches for 54 yards. Joseph Williams, 3 catches for 52 yards. Nobody really got it going. Nobody really found a rhythm. It felt like at times that nobody wanted to be there. Jordan Seaton played an exceptional game. I mean, my golly, he is going to be a first rounder coming in the next couple of years. He played exceptional on that left tackle, was pancaking everybody. Honestly, the entire line I thought played very well. Run blocking got a little bit better. I think Houston did a good job of stuffing in between the tackles a lot last night. Look, defensively, Houston, I knew was going to be a problem. They throw a lot at you. They fly around the football field, but there are ways to expose it. There are ways to take advantage of it. And again, I think it would have been more of just that mobile quarterback could have really took them off their tilter a little bit, and they were unable to do that. Connor Williams, a talented quarterback, played at Texas A&M, has the ability to do things. You saw that with his legs last night. Very mobile quarterback as well. He played a good game, in my opinion. Not the great game, but a good game to get it done. This Colorado team's got a lot to a lot of self-reflecting to look back. I really do believe this Houston's going to give a lot of teams some fits. I don't think they're going to run away with the Big 12. I think they are much improved. But Colorado is lacking an identity at the moment. They have got to look within quickly to figure out who they are and who they want to be. So where do the Buffs go from here? When you take a look again at the PFF rating, their pass blocking has improved game over game. They were at 87.4. Passing just in general was 33, which I don't think anybody's surprised on that one. Receiving was the worst that it's been at 55.4. The run was 54.3, the worst that it's been. Defense played actually better than it had in previous games, according to PFF. Their defense had a 79.0, which the weeks before was 67 and 56. So they actually played a much sharper game. And again, I didn't feel that defensively they played horribly. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities where they had kind of had that bend, don't break mentality where there was times where Houston had opportunities to pull away, especially in that first half. And even in the third quarter, where Colorado did not do any favors offensively. Quick three and outs and punted the ball, or quick three and outs or a turnover on their side of the field. And the Colorado defense held to either a field goal or stopped them on a fourth down conversion. They did a lot of things well. This is where it's tough to really judge who messed things up or who played poorly because defense is very stricken to how often am I on the football field, right? Like what are we doing here? Am I just constantly just in rotation of coming out here? Eventually, the offense is going to get advantage of it. And I think that's what happened towards the end of the football game because this game was close. This game was within reaching distance kind of midway through the third quarter. It really was. I think the Colorado defense kept them in it as much as they possibly could. And then eventually it ultimately just turned to the wayside. The offense was the worst that it's been at 52.8. Again, it needs a complete identity rebuild. I don't know where they don't know who they want to be right now on offense. I think you've got three different style of quarterbacks, and you've got Pat Schumer trying to call an offense for somebody who I don't know. Ryan Staub's gonna be more of your your pocket passer. Look to throw your check downs, kind of move the ball slowly, have a nice run offensive balance that works with it. They didn't have that last night. Caden Salter is kind of more just look free flowing, wants to be able to run the football, wants to roll out. Give him some time, give him some in space and throw it. And Julian Lewis, I don't know quite his identity yet, what it's going to be in college football. We haven't seen it yet. So it's hard to know. But this is where Shador Sanders was such a treat last year. And again, I don't think they realized how talented that wide receiver core was for Colorado last year that really allowed for things to open up. It was hard to have anybody guard all that talent last year. And I think there has been a massive drop off that hasn't been talked about enough as well. DBs were getting torched more than I thought they should be as well. I felt like there was some laziness going on there. Again, maybe it was just more towards the end of the game, but tough loss here. I think this was probably the worst loss outside of maybe that Oregon loss 2 years ago where they got their butts kicked. That one was an embarrassing one. That one's a little more, I guess, anticipated or expected with what the Oregon puts onto the football field. This Houston team, I don't feel was that further along ahead when it comes to talent wise on the field. I feel like they just got out coached, out managed, outplayed everything and every asset of the game. So we'll see how they respond. Excited to hear what Coach Prime. I know he was just kind of lost for words, which he never is. I mean, he was completely disgusted with the performance that he saw on Friday night, as was I. I was very frustrated, and I lost a little bit of cheddar on it as well. Let me know in the comment section, how do you guys feeling about this Colorado loss? Do you see a bounce back? Do you feel like there is a loss of an identity? Maybe there's something that you noticed that I didn't see or didn't go over. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love, baby.